Right, Gaz, lad.
Hey, how's it going, lads?
What's going on here?
I know.
As I walked out with my training kit on, basically, Big Dunk, who's good mates with the gaffer, he just pushed me forward. He went, "Get yourself on, son!" Threw me in. The electric went off, the TV went off, the lights went off, the heating went off. Playing with Vardy, I'll still to this day say he's the best player that I've played with. I was putting the Everton training kit on, training with Gaza.
Right, Gaz, lad.
Hey, how's it going, lads?
What's going on here?
I know, it's all changed around anyway. Apparently we're interviewing a right little peckerhead today, aren't we? The chief peckerhead.
Yeah, well, to be fair, he's got a good career and he loves talking about himself, so we thought we'd put him over there today.
We've been told to make notes, but I said to you, and I said, what's the point? He's just going to get going and we'll be just trying to stop him, trying to move it along slowly but surely. But yeah, it's good to be back.
What have you been doing?
Not much, being a dad. Yeah.
How's it going?
Tiring. I've gone from like 9 hours sleep to about 3-4 hours max. 5 hours you get up, you do like a cartwheel, you're that happy. But I want him to get to a certain age, like 2, when he can understand me. I want him to be like a little robot. So, hello, Daddy, is it time for bed yet? Go, yeah, go. And he comes back downstairs. Oh, can I have some food, Daddy? Yeah, your food's there, eat it. Go back up. That's all I want.
Is that what you
That's
want?
how it's going to be.
I like how he's come dressed as John Paul Gaultier.
I know, what's he wearing here?
Got that off my mate in the car. Yeah, I fished it out. It's hot, bloody hot day. I've been working this morning. I thought I'd get in, and after this, I'll probably go for a few beers.
Well, we've just been on a pre-season trip to Isle of Man.
Oh yeah,
Belting.
it's good. We went there in like September with Barnolds because the Isle of Man play in North West Counties.
Yeah.
And it were good. I've made it be better if in middle of summer.
Yeah, it just pissed down the whole time.
Did it piss down?
See that video of me golf?
No.
Literally, we're on 16th hole, this fog come down, you couldn't see end at tee. So you're just levering your ball. No idea where the green is, where anything is, apart from scorecard.
It's a nice little place.
That was good. So after that round, one of our lads he was shit at golf, but we've gone out for tea, and as the food's come, he's nipped at Lou. Nicky Adams picked his nose, double nostril picker, big stringy one, stuck it in his burger. Oh. So as he's eating it, all the lads are going, "I can't believe you're still getting double bogeys while you're in here." Blah blah blah. Swear down, he took his last bite, and another like bogey joke come out, and it clocked. And honestly, I was nearly being sick. Thinking of the thought, I was like retching, but he just seemed. To be fair, he was like, "Now it's gone. It's all right." But if you'd have told me as I was eating it, I'd have been sick everywhere.
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it? I reckon it makes it worse when someone in Burnley years ago, this big fat horrible guy, he did like a dirty Sanchez on this, like one of my mates, where you put your finger at your bum and wipe it on the nose. And my mates, and everyone were laughing at my mate, and he went, what? And he went, smell up. And my mate told me after, because he was so disgusting, it made it 20 times worse. But if anyone, it'd be horrible. But because he was a big, fat, sweaty guy, he projectile vomited like 50 yards in front of him. I was being sick.
It's called a shit tash, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dirty Sanchez.
Nicky Adams was just pissing his sides. It was hilarious. I think a few of them put a couple of bogeys in there. But yeah, he'd scrammed a lot by then.
Did you have a good do?
Oh,
Did you play any football?
Yeah, it was good. We played Saturday. Got there Thursday, trained, had a few beers that night. Friday, chilled out, trained, then played golf. Game against Lancaster on the Saturday. A few beers that night. And then
went to Isle of Man and then played Lancaster.
Yeah, it was like a festival of football. So we played Lancaster were there, Chester was there, and Isle of Man were there. But we didn't play Chester because they're
festival of football. There were 2 games over 3 days.
3 teams.
Some
3 teams. So we didn't play one of them.
4 teams. Isle of Man weren't there.
All right.
So yeah.
Why didn't you play Chester? Because you played in season.
I heard that they didn't want to play us, but I don't think that was. I don't know what the case was, but the place was rammed with Chester fans, like a bit rowdy at times.
Right.
There's a few Chester fans saying love the pod and give us a shout out, but I was steaming, forgot his name, so sorry, pal. But
mate,
just catch me on third game of the season. I'll say your name then. But yeah, no, it was decent, good do.
Are they in your league this season, Chester?
Yeah.
Ah, class.
3rd game of season.
Oh, that'd be good then. John are going back there as well.
Yeah. Well, some of them were giving us shit. Some of them were.
Dudley.
Yeah.
Brad Jackson.
Yeah, there's
John
a few
O'Byrne.
be going back, isn't there?
He's what's it called? Helmet Head still there? Jamie Morgan still
Yeah,
there? Yeah.
Morgs is still there.
Helmet head.
Yeah, he had his hair before, like...
He's hanging him. What have you been doing, Gaz?
Nothing much, really. Been pretty quiet at the minute. Not been doing much. My golf game has gone to shite.
That's it.
It's not a bad thing, is it? Golf shit.
Just snap
It
hooking
is.
everything. It's driving me mental. Yeah, so me 3-wood got whizzed against a tree the other day.
All right. Well, we're here to talk about your
helped.
career today.
Yeah.
Have you been doing some notes?
I have done some notes. I sent them over to you. I didn't want to mention a lot of the stuff that I've already mentioned on the podcast. Like, you know, when we've been talking and I've told a story. So I've tried to go a little bit different. A lot of it you might have heard, but like when you look back at it, it is a real kind of roller coaster
Wank.
career.
Oh, sorry.
Do you know what's? Do you know the worst? You know the worst thing
wank
was
career.
some absolute shite. You know the worst thing at the end of it.
Sorry, mate.
The end of the podcast, though. You know the worst thing that's going to happen is when it gets no numbers and no one listens to it, and everyone just says, "G-Stop was miles better than him." Just keep it as it is.
No, I think you had a... You've gone up, haven't you?
I had a real topsy-turvy roller coaster career.
Yeah, we'll get into it, won't we?
Yeah.
Obviously, as well, I was speaking to my mum today about a bit of research. She goes, actually, Sed's granddad and my granddad were best mates. And she's got a picture of, like, when we were going on holiday with his mum, and his mum's a twin, and my mum on it. They went together. And she said, I don't know, like, I must have been about 2, but his mum brought Seds to play with me. He used to wear glasses.
I don't think so.
And, like, I was only like, I think about 1 year old, and he brought in some like Meccano. It's like Lego, and he goes, "Oh, I play with Gary or something." He come with this like Meccano, and my mum said, my face. She said he come up to me, and my face. I couldn't speak at the time, but my face said like, "Who's this little goon?" And then he fucked off.
So you believe
That's
him?
only what my mum said. So I mean, she might be lying. I don't know.
So nothing's changed, really.
Imagine that, a Gary and a Gara at 1 year old. That's proper Burnley nonsense.
Proper goons in it.
So where did it all start? Footy?
Yeah.
Oh, so right, we'll go way back. So I never played football up until I was about 9 or 10. I weren't into it.
What, even not in the street?
Not even the street. I was always into like karate.
Meccano.
Karate?
I was always into karate and boxing, and just like my mum says, I just wanted to fight all the time, just wrestle everybody. I was that idiot of a kid, and she took me to, like, she wanted to get me into something to get me away from that, and so I started playing football. I went to like these soccer camps, and then we used to
that's
go,
where like your mum just wants to get rid of you. In the
100%.
in the
Soccer
holidays.
sixes.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
She took me to Butlins, and she said I was that kind of a kid that within 2 hours of arriving at Butlins, I'd spent my spending money for that day going to hairdressers on my own at 10-year-old and having my hair shaved off. Just because I met someone and I was like, oh, he's got a shaved head. So I went to hairdressers and had it all shaved off. Just my mum was like, she said, you look like a
Thug.
I can't. Yeah, she said, like, what are you doing? She said it spoilt the week. Straight away with it. Just weird kid. So I started playing football there, and I remember there was like a turning point at school. I couldn't even get in the school team.
What school did you go to?
In the 11. I went to
Fuck me, you must
St.
be old
Leonard's.
if you can't remember.
no Padiham County Primary School.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's some education there.
Should see it now.
Is it even there anymore?
No, it's knocked down now.
Down,
It's-
yeah, I thought so.
horrible. And I remember I couldn't get in the school team.
But you said you had no interest up until about... Did you have an interest like towards the end?
Yeah, so like
try and get
up
in.
until about 10, I thought, right, okay, I'm going to try and get in the school team. And I remember the teacher, you had to pick 7 players out of the 11. I think I mentioned this before, to go and play in a 7-a-side competition at Deepdale. Remember, it used to be like a 3G, and I couldn't even get picked for that. So I weren't even in the top, so I must have been in the shitters 4. Do you know what I mean? Out of the 11, I was in the crap 4.
What's your crap though?
I don't know, yeah. I think I just
You'd
had
have been
more...
athletic though, wouldn't you?
I was a bit athletic, yeah, but not really. I was crap. And it really, I remember to this day, it wounded me. I thought, I'm crap. So I remember we had the 6-week summer holiday, and somebody had bought me a Paul Gascoigne book, you know, like how to control a ball, like loads of like dribbling skills in it.
Instep.
Yeah, instep, outstep, like Cruyff turn, and there were like literally diagrams of it. So I remember going up onto the back street where I lived, and I just set up like, I didn't have cones in them days, like maybe like cans or whatever, just on the back street, and I was just dribbling in, and then I'd turn over to page 2, and it'd be like outside of your foot turn, then Cruyff turn, and I was just practicing. And I remember practicing every single day for hours and hours and hours. And there was an old guy who used to sit, like we used to live on like terraced houses, you know, them really steep streets, and he'd sit in his deck chair, and I remember him like calling me over, and he was about 80, and he'd go, how many kick-ups can you do? And I'd be like, 20. And he was like, show me. So I'd like do 20 kick-ups, you know, all on one foot.
You can't be that bad. I can't do 20.
I might be able to do 5, let's just say 5. And I remember him saying to me, I'll give you £1 if you can do 100. And I, like a pound in them days, like I was on it, what was it, 1989 or something like that.
Yeah.
Pound in them days. So it's like,
Get a
give
car
me
for £3 back then.
bought my house for £3. And so like, it was like obviously a pound, penny a kick up. So I practiced bang, bang, bang. And then I remember like a week later, I went back and I did 100 and he gave me £1. And then he went, now I want you to do 100 with both feet. And I give you another £1. And he did that again. And by the end of the summer holidays, I could do 100 kick-ups using both feet and 100 headers.
That's pretty good. I always think like
10-year-old
Seds, if you can do 20 kick-ups, then you can do as many as you want.
Yeah.
It's concentration.
Yeah.
Once you've got the gist of it, the rest of it's just concentration. If you can do 100, you can do 1,000.
Yeah.
Just
It's just
Yeah, it's just shite, isn't it?
tiredness as well.
Pointless.
But I remember going back to school and we played, like right at the start of the year, we played a tournament at, remember Thompson Baths in Burnley?
Yeah.
Used to have that
Thompson Centre.
Thompson Centre, like the indoor little
the
five-a-side pitch. I played in that and I won player of the tournament. And I mean, I was getting it and just dribbling around everyone and scoring. And I remember I went back to school on the Monday and the head teacher pulled me in the office and he said, Blackburn Rovers have been on the phone and they want you to join the School of Excellence. And that was literally 4 months after not being picked for the school team. Just
and that's
weird.
Just from putting proper grafting
Just
during
putting
the summer.
proper grafting at that, like on my own, like 8-10 hours a day, and that was it then.
And that guy who took pictures of you later on when you were naked, giving you some advice for pickups.
The old guy.
The 80-year-old chap on the wall. Oh, that old chestnut.
Yeah.
Why am I naked?
I'll
give you £2.
I had a lot of sleepovers.
So you've gone to Blackburn.
Yeah, so I went to Blackburn to their School of Excellence. So we used to have to go Tuesday and Thursday nights every week, and then you're with like good players at that age.
Yeah,
like,
you realise it's not when you get somewhere like that. We all know you
not
can't
the big
just
fish
dribble around
anymore,
everyone.
are you?
No.
That stops, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone's quick. Everyone's strong. Everyone's got a good bit of ability.
Well, they just worked on like techniques or how to strike a ball, like even like outside of your foot pass, inside of your foot pass, like one touch finish, one touch control, and it was just like that. And I remember I got approached by a guy and he said, I'm setting up like a Sunday league side. So for like 11, 12-year-olds.
Did you play Saturdays then?
I didn't play at all then. Like, I only played for the school team.
Yeah, because obviously when I went at 12 to Blackburn, we played on a Sunday. So then if you probably went a bit earlier, like when you were 10, they might have had organised games on a Sunday then.
We didn't. So for Blackburn Rovers, we didn't play.
Just trained.
Many games. No, we used to train, and then every now and again we'd have a fixture against another team. Yeah,
probably before the academies come into it then.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, well, you're talking like 1990.
Yeah.
You must have had some natural ability that it's just unlocked, that you'd never.
I could score a goal like from dead early on.
You've had balance as well from karate.
Karate,
You
yeah.
would though, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Be able to balance is a good
Some
thing.
volleys.
And and then Alan, this guy called Alan approached me and he said, I'm picking a side. And I played for a side called Merry England. And out of the starting 11, 10 of us were signed at Blackburn Rovers. And we had like David Dunn was our captain. Nathan Ward, a lad called Gaz Jones who went on to play for Leicester. We had an unbelievable side and we just won everything. We were dicking teams like 18-0.
You get
I was scoring like 12.
What's the team in Manchester? Is it Dean Sport or something? Like that's where Giggs and loads of players go there because you've got a big name. Everyone wants to send the kids there.
Yeah. It was similar to that. So like they had the Man United players, didn't we? Like we had them. And then, it just kind of like took off from them. So I ended up spending like 8 years at Blackburn, like going through the ranks, like signing schoolboy, and then you sign like scholar. And then I remember halfway through my scholar, they came and spoke to me, and I think it was quite apparent that I weren't quite
Yeah, you
at the
can
level.
smell it, can't you?
Yeah. So he said to me, Wigan want to take your second year scholar over.
What do you say? You can't play rugby?
Well, at the time I was thinking, well, Blackburn Rovers have just won the Premier
Yeah,
League.
they were flying.
That they were top. Wigan were like bottom of the second division. Like like the
You don't have a
old.
chance.
I was like,
I'm not going.
I was like, I don't want to do that. But then I kind of knew that the writing was on the wall. I was going to get released anyway. So I spoke to my dad and other people, and it was one of them where, do you want to wait till the end of your scholar and fight it out against 500
loads of
other
others,
lads who are being
Exit
released?
trials.
Yeah, or like take my chance now. So I went and moved into digs at Wigan. They used to be at the old, I think it was called Springfield Park, like the old. It was crap. It was a minging ground.
Was that before, what's it called, took over?
Yeah, before Whelan
JJB,
came
man.
in, yeah.
JJ.
Yeah, so they had no money at all. And I remember they put me up in digs, and I'm trying to remember what Sharon she was. I'm sure it was Sharon, the digs lady. She also was the bar manager at the football club. So she's worked behind the bar, and then like she'd have me as like the.
It's sort of what clubs are like now when we play, like at Chester and stuff like that. Back then, like Chester's probably more professional than some clubs in League Two were back then.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All volunteers and that.
It was just an eye opener because you're moving out, like, and you're not at Brock Hall where everything's catered for you. I was living in digs with a woman, and she was like, "These are the rules. You do your washing, you do your day. Like, I'll leave your food out." I was like,
Who the fuck's this bitch?
well, no, do you know what? She was brilliant, but I remember we used to have a phone on the landing at the top of the stairs, and she had her bedroom. Then she had a spare room where she had a sunbed. And she's like, you can use a sunbed whenever you want.
Is that where you got it from?
Listen, right, yeah. She was like, you can use a sunbed whenever you want. And it was one, like them that goes over the top of a single bed.
Yeah, it goes over your bed.
It's like a canopy in it, yeah. And so it's like this light up here, but you just put it down over your bed.
People say that they're really bad for you, but it's because she used to have at sunbeds. Yeah, they used to have them in their house and sleep, go to bed with it on.
With the sunbed.
They would.
You would. You'd turn it on for like 40 minutes.
12 hours a day on sunbed.
Yeah, like towards the end of my my scholar, I played against Burnley.
Did you play for games at first team?
Down at no,
still scholar.
I was only like 17, 18, and we played down at Gawthorpe against Burnley. Obviously, like I'm going back to Burnley,
Local
bit of a rivalry. And I remember a ball bounced, and I've come steaming into a tackle. And one thing that I was shit at was tackling. I've always been crap. And then this lad, I could see him flying in, so I thought I'm going to get hurt here. So I've gone in 2-footed. He's gone in 2-footed, and say that's our legs. I've gone underneath his legs. He's come above me and hit me in my chest, both feet. And it was one of them where bang, and I've like, winded. I've got my mates all at the side there, and I'm thinking, like, I can't show that I'm in pain here. So, like, I've got back up. There's only about 5 minutes left. I'm thinking, I'm winded here. Like, it's bad. Proper bad. Anyway, I've got back to the changing rooms, by the time I've got back, I couldn't bend forward to take my boots off because when I bent forward, it was like my chest was going to explode, like the pressure in my chest. Anyway, it was my stepdad's 40th, and I remember going home, and my mum was like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "I'm really struggling here." She's like, "Go and have a lie down. Go and have a lie down, not sunbed." No, she's like, "Go and have a lie down, and then like, I'll call you to have a shower in a bit." Like, well, because we were going out, and I remember led on the bed, and I was struggling to breathe, and it got worse and worse and worse. And then my bedroom was in the attic, and I've come to the top of the stairs to shout "Mum," and I can't remember the next thing. I've collapsed, fell down the stairs. Next thing I remember, I'm in the car going to the hospital. I've brought my sternum and punctured my lung in the tackle, and the guy at the hospital said you only ever really see that kind of accident in a car accident. You know, you hit the steering wheel.
It's like snapping your femur.
Yeah.
You only really see it in car accidents.
Who else doing all that snapped their sternum?
Owen Roberts.
Did he do it?
Roberts
He did his doing bench press.
He dropped the bench on him about.
Did he?
It must have been about 150.
He missed about 5 games. Sternum.
More than that. He wouldn't have broke it.
He weren't. He just dropped it on it.
Yeah, I didn't play. I couldn't. Like, I got told I won't be able to play for 12 months.
They talk about like it's another story of the footballers. We know when people go, "Oh, they're all soft and stuff like that." I'm like, going, come down to lower levels.
Yeah,
We're not all soft.
people play
I've seen some
throughout.
horrific things. People should be locked up for some things I've seen. You're good in 2 foot and he's gone over you.
Yeah,
You can't do that.
so it was a horrendous tackle, but. Yes, so that was it. And I remember I only had a couple of months left until the end of the season, and I don't think I'd done enough. Do you know? I think it was one where they were thinking we might offer him a pro, we might not. You know, one of them. He's still got a bit of growing to do because I was tiny.
Let's go and speak to Sharon.
I was,
See if she put a
Sharon,
good
how
word
was he
in for you.
behaved? Yeah, well, he never give me anything. So
Jesus.
So I ended up. I had the chat like so even if they would have signed me on a pro
It'd have been
for
like
a year
or 6 months.
yeah, I'd have had 9 months injured anyway. So, and obviously they weren't blessed with any money, so I got released and I was devastated. And I remember thinking, "Fucking hell, like that's it, like that's my chance. Like I've gone from Blackburn, gone down to Wigan, and even at League Two, like I've gone." And
There's nothing to help you back then.
there was nowhere to go from there
That's
either.
it. And you're not on like, what would you have been on a week at Wigan?
68 quid, I think.
68 quid a week. You got all your mates who are in like factories and stuff earning 300s and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I fucking playing at?
I tell you where
It's
I
hard
wouldn't.
to-
I tell you
it's
where I
hard
wouldn't
to
go.
keep
I wouldn't go to Newquay.
That's exactly where I went.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of my best
Teaching
mates at the
karate,
time.
Karate with
judo
Seds
chop.
with the waves.
I remember,
Open up a little dojo.
you know, the one where they got the wooden posts in the sea.
Yeah.
Kite.
Like one of my best mates at the time, his dad lived down there, so he'd gone for the summer, and obviously I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go on trial, couldn't do anything because I was injured.
Yeah.
So I thought, do you know what? Like, I remember him ringing me, and he used to do the Radio 1 surf show down there and Radio 1 live events, like on Newquay Beach. And he was like, "Seds, come down, like it's full of birds, like you'll love it." So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I went down there and I went working in a hotel. Just like you got free digs if you work there, so you'd have to do like
Cleaning.
the breakfast shift. Like we serving breakfast, then you'd have the whole day off, come and serve the evening meal, and then you were done for the day.
Did you get paid out?
Yeah, you get paid and you got your free digs.
It's like a working holiday, isn't it?
Yeah. So I went and lived down there for 9 months, and it was brilliant. Just like got away from everything. Just
What's it like in winter?
It's got to be shit.
bit like Blackpool in winter,
Yeah.
but you've still got all like your locals and your staff and like everyone. So it was good crack. Like the summer was brilliant. Like every day we were like having like campfires and
What was nightclub called, Gaz?
Some sailor.
well, sailors, you'll know.
Was it
You got the
Sailors?
top on.
Sailors.
Sailors
I thought they were
nightclub.
called seagulls. It's not.
No, not seagull.
There's a couple of nightclubs now, isn't there? I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been for it.
We were
years.
in Walkabout, weren't we, that day?
Well, it was so weird when we went back down there, just like remembering everything.
Oh yeah, obviously I didn't know. So you was taking us round, and I'm like, how does he know all this?
Yeah, I just lived that. It was brilliant. But I remember, like my mate was joining the RAF, and I was
The one who brought you down there?
Yeah, the one who brought me down there, and he was. So I was looking into it with him, and I thought, do you know what? I don't want to go back home to Burnley. Like, I know it sounds weird. I felt like a bit of a disappointment.
Did you want to be a plane driver?
Plane driver. Yeah, I just felt like a bit of a letdown. Do you know what I mean? So I wanted to try and do something with my life, and I
Still young.
I thought football had gone. Yeah. So I went to like the careers thing, and I sat down in the RAF careers, and he said to me, right, what do you want to join up as? Because there's loads of jobs in there. And I went, I want to be one of them that like jumps out of a plane and like. And he was like, you want to be a gunner? And I was like, yeah, I want to be a gunner. Like, it's like fucking infantry in army, like cannon fodder. And he was like, what are you good at? And then like we talked through like football and all stuff like that. And he was like, are you into fitness? Are you into like sport? And I said, yeah, I love sport. And he was like, right, what about a PTI, like physical training instructor? So you're basically like a PE teacher, but in the RAF.
Yes.
But it's just a little bit more, obviously, like you've got to make everyone, like you've got to be super fit. You're taking like all the trainees on like runs, like 10Ks, 15K. You're making them do like assault courses. And I was like, yeah, this sounds brilliant. So yeah, so I remember joining up and doing all my basic training. As you can imagine what basic training is like, it's horrendous. Like you just get screamed at in your face, like, Seddon, you are a fucking piece of shit. Like, you're like...
How did they know you?
that was in the careers office. But it was just an eye-opener, and it really made me grow up.
It'd been easy for you, that, though, wouldn't it? The physical side of it.
No, it was hard. It was tough.
Really?
Yeah, it was really tough. Like, so like sometimes you're marching for like 4 or 5 hours at a time.
More mental.
And just drilling, like they drill you. You're doing all your rifle drills, and then you're doing, like you're not finishing until 8, 9 o'clock at night, and then you've got all your bed to do, your wardrobe, your uniform, and you're up at 5 for inspection. Stood by your bed at 5 for inspection.
On Forrest Gump.
I was a bit like,
whatever you tell me to do, Jill Sergeant. God damn it, Gump. That's the most astounding answer I've ever heard in my life. You're going to be a goddamn general one day.
Well, that was it. Like
film,
some lads could just not get on board with it. I like, if they told me to do it, I'd do it. Like if they said, you have to do this by 8 o'clock, I'd just do it.
Some lads will never, they'll have the mums doing it for them.
Yeah,
but it must be a shock to the system.
They didn't like being screamed at. Like no one likes being screamed at, but it's like a test, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a test for you to like, are you going to break?
Can you follow orders?
Yeah, and they're like, you're a piece of shit, Seddon. Yes, Sergeant. Like, you think you're better than everybody else. Yes, Sergeant. We're going to fucking, like, yes, Sergeant. Just, yes, Sergeant, everything. And you just go and do it. And I remember just like...
It's like paying your dues, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I was ironing my uniform till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, getting into bed, like, by 5 o'clock, alarm goes, bang, uniform on, stood by your bed, inspection, and then you're off for the day. And I remember, like, you have like 12 weeks of that, and it's just bullshit.
Yeah, but the fitness that you got must have been how you made your way back into football.
Well, that was the thing. Like, I always had this niggling kind of dream that I always wanted to get back into football. Like, the RAF life was brilliant. It was class. And at the weekend, I was playing in, like, the Conference North National League at the time.
Where were you based?
Cosford, which is like Wolverhampton. So I was playing for Nuneaton.
Right.
I was super fit. And I mean, like, every day I was running, gym. Like, I was taking all the recruits for sports and stuff like that. Like, once I was a PTI, we did all, like, mountain training. It was brilliant. So then at the weekend, I was training Tuesday, Thursday nights, football, playing on a Saturday, and I was just super fit. And obviously, I think I played 21 games and I had 26 goals. So something like that in the National League at that time. And
any level that you're going to get a move on.
Yeah.
Someone's going to look
Well, I remember it's first time that I'd ever really been introduced to an agent.
Really? What, back then?
Yeah. I never even heard of it, like football agent in them days. And I remember getting a phone call, and basically I went to meet this agent, and they were saying that they'd had a number of clubs contact them about me. Is it something that I'd want to do? Would I be able to get out of the RAF and all that kind of thing? And I was thinking, what kind of clubs? And there were clubs like Everton and Wolves and things like that. So
yeah, big clubs.
Big clubs like
How old would you have been then?
20.
So you're young enough there.
Yeah, 20.
Definitely young enough.
So I remember.
If you're doing that when you're 30, they ain't coming.
No, they're not
All
yet.
right, well done. Keep going.
Yeah.
Score another.
So I remember they organised me to go into Reading to start off with. Reading was Championship club. They just got the new Majeski Stadium. So I went there, played up front in like 3 games, scored in every game. And I remember they took me to a game, and then at half time they introduced me on the pitch as the new signing. And I was in the programme, and then a week later, didn't hear anything, just went dead. And I was like, fuck. Yeah, just totally went dead, like didn't hear anything. And I just thought, and then you still turn up for work every day, and I was thinking, fucking hell, I thought that was it. And then
you're a piece of shit, Seddon.
Yeah, you're right. And then I remember I got invited into Everton with Walter Smith was the manager, and I remember being picked up for training, going into the training ground. First person that I saw, Paul Gascoigne.
Gaza.
And it was like that moment.
His book,
yeah, like that book took me, like I saw him. He's always been a bit of an hero anyway. And I remember it took me back going, oh my God, like 10 years ago, I was literally like flicking through your book trying to be a footballer. And now I was putting the Everton training kit on, training with Gaza. It was such a like unbelievable moment.
He probably didn't have a clue about that book. Like,
didn't have a clue about me at the end of it.
Someone else had written that book and he just put his name on it.
Probably. Yeah. I'd been there a month and he still didn't know me. But I remember like training every day.
Signed for him?
Well, I trained.
A long trial.
I was there for a month.
Yeah, it's a long trial.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
put me up in the Marriott Hotel, and Don Hutchinson and Duncan Ferguson were staying in the same hotel. I don't know why. I don't know, because obviously the club are paying for it. I don't know why they weren't staying in their own house.
You got hammered with them, didn't you?
They got me pissed one night, and like that was a bit of an eye opener as well, because I remember like we played a reserve game against, I'm sure it was Man United. I'd scored a couple, done all right, not brilliant, but like we just nick a couple of goals. And we'd gone back to the hotel, and them two had like strolled in, got to the bar, and I was heading to my room. It was like, guys, where you going? I was like, I'm going up to the room. They're like, come and have a beer with us. I'm like, I'm on trial. They're like, no, fucking hell, you've just scored a couple of goals. You'll be sound. Like, well, it'll be jacuzzi, gym, cool down.
So that's good for
tomorrow.
You for even like trying not to have a beer.
Yeah,
me.
That's so professional.
I'd be already at bar.
Mate, but I was in the
Donkey, go on, get us a double, lads.
But I was coming out of the RAF. I was super focused.
Yeah. Well, they've already met it as well.
They're legends, aren't they? And I remember like they wrote me over and they were like, you'll be fine in the morning. So I probably hardly had a drink in the last like 3 years.
So you were levered.
Levered after about 3 pints. And I remember him putting me to bed. And I remember Big Dunk saying, don't worry, I'll look after you tomorrow. Like, you stick with me, lad. So in the morning, the banging on my room, I remember like I was rough as anything. They woke me up, I was puking in the toilets, and I was thinking, shit, what have I done? Taxi comes, got to training, and
do you not do the garlic trick?
No, I think I did the sucking on the pennies trick.
Just have loads of garlic, something really garlicky.
Why?
The garlic smell takes over the beer smell.
I think
That's John O. I was thinking before I got in the car, he goes, fucking hell, you stink of garlic, guys. I had loads of beers in that before, but I'd proper cane some garlic in the morning.
Do you not remember when you used to suck on a penny?
Yeah,
People
that actually works, I think. That.
I don't know.
I don't know, it's all wives' tale, but the garlic thing, trust me, because when you have garlic, you can never smell it yourself. If you have loads of garlic, no one can smell it. So anyway, you've made it through. Has he looked after you, Big Dunk?
No, he didn't look after me. So
Stitch you up.
So we've got there. put his training kit
You
on.
wouldn't have been doing much after a game anyway, would you?
Well, I weren't meant to. I've got my towel around my thing, walking out with Dunk. We're off to it has like a jacuzzi pool and all stuff like that. As I walked out with my training kit on, basically, Big Dunk, who's good mates with the gaffer, Walt Smith, he's gone, hey, Dunk, like, where you going? And he's like, oh, I'm off to Jamie, my boy. He says, why? Do you want another player? He's like, yeah. And he just pushed me forward. He went, get yourself on, son. Threw me in. That was it. We're doing 5-a-sides. If you lost, you're doing doggies, mate, all for about 3 hours. And I just thought to myself, like, lesson learnt now. He's just, that's a senior pro.
Were you training with the first team?
Yeah.
But when you're
Yeah,
that
but it's on trial.
I know, but when you're that age, it's not really a bad. I think you would have held your own there. Were you training with the first team before that?
Yeah.
All right, so you were training with him all the time.
Yeah.
I thought like sometimes even though he's giving you, it's like it's still an opportunity. Even though you're rough, it's still an opportunity.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
When you're 20, I used to be able to play after a few beers on a Friday when I was 20.
Yeah, at 20.
No,
If
it's 2 weeks
now.
No, it's 2 weeks before.
I know. I'd not drunk in ages. I were a bag of crap.
We used to get the FaceTime call from Jono, didn't we, night before? Big fat-headed thing going, where are you?
Making sure you're staying in.
He'd make you put light on to make sure you weren't just like behind a bush or something in a pub. I can hear music. It's the telly.
But yes, but like I must have done all right because they bought me out the RAF.
Wow.
So I ended up going there, but
For what? Like money or
yeah, it weren't much.
bullets? Equipment.
yeah. They got a load of jump ropes and bean bags for RAF. But yeah, like I don't think it was. I don't know what it was. Like this agent sorted it all out.
That's got to be one of the weirdest transfers ever, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Did you
but
get a signing on fee?
No, I got nothing. I didn't get anything. It was
Decent wage, you know.
No, not really. I think
Some agent, that, isn't it?
I think it was about 400 quid a week.
Still good though.
It was just a chance to go, like come
Play.
out of the RAF and okay, I was going.
And it's first time you've been wanted. I know you got wanted
Yeah,
by
yeah.
Wigan, but like now you're a pro. Well, you're a player, and it's always like I always find it difficult. Like say, if someone say, "Come down and I'll have a look at you."
Yeah.
It's like I'm fucking whatever age I'd be at the time. I'm like 27. I played a lot of games.
Yeah.
If you don't know what I'm about,
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't
what's
want
the
me.
point?
Yeah.
You can't really train how you play either, can you?
No, I tried to. Chasing chickens.
Just smashing everyone.
No, but it's like I don't think you won't have gone. You won't have been on trial.
No, I've not been
like
on trial
15,
since
12 years. Would
My
you?
last one was at Burnley.
Was that as a youngster?
It's always who you know, and someone
Yeah.
tells someone about you or watches you or something. That's what always happens.
It was just nice to be like you said, just to be wanted and get that second chance again. And like the RAF were brilliant about it, and it just gave me that chance. And I remember it was a bit of an eye opener though, because I'd gone from
Did you get a 2 year, 18 month or something?
I think I got a year.
Yeah. Well, still.
Yeah,
good.
like a year and then to come and prove yourself. But I always thought, like, if you don't work out there after a year, you're going somewhere else.
Yeah, Everton.
You're written a branch.
Yeah,
aren't you?
yeah.
Yeah,
And-
good. I like that.
I like that, yeah. But I remember training with him, and there was, like, Big Dunk, Kevin Campbell, Franny Jeffers, Phil Jevons, like, all people like that, Gaza, and they were just a different level. Bigger, stronger, faster, and I just thought to myself, I've no chance here. Like, I'm never, ever going to get to this level quick enough.
Yeah.
So, I'd basically just gone from RAF to full-time training at that level. And I remember being in the showers and Franny Jeffers come in and he was like in his Scouse accent, hey, fucking how you doing, lad? And talking away like this. And I was like, yeah, I'm all right. Said, like, I just don't think I'm going to get on here. And he was like, no. And I said, fucking loads of strikers. And he was like, well, I'll just let you know, like, I'm off to Arsenal. And he'd signed a pre-contract in the January. And I was like, all right. And I think Phil Jevons were going. Franny Jeffers were, and I was like, oh, maybe I've got a bit of a chance then. And I remember ringing me, like, brother-in-law at the time, like, saying, fucking hell, that Franny Jeffers is off. Ultimately, we played Man United again, and Man United reserves used to play at Gig Lane. Obviously, Bury.
Yeah.
And I remember after that game, I'd done all right, and one of the staff at Everton came and had the word and said, look, like Bury want to take you. Like we've done a bit of a deal with Bury for you to join them. And I was like, yeah, I'm all right with that. Bury was in League One. I thought I'd have loads of chance to play. So you end up going like quick move to Bury.
Was that under Stan or after Stan?
After Stan, it was under Andy Priest. Andy Priest was like player manager, Priest, yeah.
Big club then, wasn't it? Bury.
Yeah, big club, like next door to where I'm from, Burnley, and it was a chance to just like I'd not made my debut, so I'd not played a pro game before that, and so I joined Bury, and it was same again. Like I think they brought me in. There were only me and John Newby, and remember Dave Nugent?
Yeah.
Dave Nugent went on and had a brilliant career.
3 good strikers, well,
Yeah.
2, and you.
2 and me, yeah. So they were like me and Nuge, or me and John Newby played up front like every game.
Were they called nicknames Noobs and Nuge? Because that do made in.
Noobs and Nuge.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah. I
Two
think
players
that.
constantly turning round.
I think that's why the gaffer never picked them together. That's why I got my chance. But yeah, I had a decent first season. Like ended up finished top goal scorer like for us. But I remember like
I some research, but I didn't even knew that about Seds. You were alright, weren't you?
I was all right.
You were alright, weren't you?
No, he was shy as a kid.
You're a crap as
So
a
that-
kid. But yeah, I remember my first
Top
ever
scorer.
league goal, and it were I had a chance to sign for Chesterfield under Nicky Lowe, but I chose Bury instead. Both in League One, and we played against Oldham about 3 weeks before, and I always used to play on the shoulder, and the ball got played in behind, and I was behind it like a defender. I think it was called Stuart Barmer or something like that. And he's seen me coming around the back of him, and as he's just gone boof.
Have some of that.
Have some of that. That old wise defender. I'm young, just went
GBH.
bang, nose splattered all over my face. I remember jumping up like aggressive as anything. Like I think I headbutted him. Like not like a real, but just
Not
you
a
know,
red.
like where you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a reaction, sent off.
Oh, you did get a
red card, yeah. And at Oldham, you kind of walk up some steps up between the crowd.
Yeah.
So I remember everyone's boo, and I was like walking off, and some like big fat guy leant over and flobbed on me.
Grozzed on you.
Grozzed on me. Mate, I ran at him. 'Cause my head was still like, I remember, and all the crowd and all the stewards were like pulling me in the middle of the crowd.
It's horrible, isn't it?
So I'd signed for Bury, I'd not even scored a goal yet, and I'd already been sent off, and like we'd been fined for like flipping spat on.
Had a fighting crowd.
I'd had a fighting crowd, and I remember Andy Priest went mental at me. So we played like 3 weeks later. We played Chesterfield, and obviously it was my first game back, and I was sub. And I remember it was Chesterfield were winning 1-0 at half time, and I walked out the tunnel, and Nicky Lowe turned to the side and he was like, "Told you should have signed for me." You know, one of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, wanker. You know, just like I was gutted. And he said something like, I'd never have you sub. You know, just like a dig. I was thinking, what a bell. Like really wound me up. And I was saying to the gaffer, like, get me on. And the gaffer was still fuming at me. Like I could tell he didn't want to put me on. Anyway, I think it was about 4 minutes to go. 1-0 down. He stuck me on. 2 goals in 3 minutes. We won 2-1. Mate, I was most buzzing.
That could only happen to you. That
Your two first goals as well.
My first ever pro goal was my equaliser, then the winner. Between 3 minutes of each other.
It's fair play.
And I was buzzing. Like probably now it was the most buzzing I've
Was
ever
it away?
felt. No, it was at Gig Lane.
At Gig Lane.
Yeah.
Getting into changes after like a hero, aren't you?
You feel like it's weird, innit?
You are like a
should have
hero.
gone out
Yeah.
and buried that night.
I did do.
Oh, did you?
Soul Viva. Soul Viva it up.
What a night out that is.
Mate, it was just the best time. Like
It is the best feeling in the
it's
world.
the best feeling in the world, especially when you score like a winner or something like that, and then you go out afterwards. You're like,
Oh, walking into Sol with all them Bury fans there.
it's a
That would
good- it's a
be
good-
the best night of my life.
it's
It's a
brilliant.
good feeling having kids, but That goal, that equalised when I scored that winning goal when at Stockport, when I went off mental. You don't run off mental when you have a bit. It's more
You
emotional.
don't run that hospital, do you?
It's a different feeling.
It's a totally different feeling. It's just like, yeah, and I remember just...
Just going winning goal in a World Cup final, like last minute, how good that feeling is. You can never replace it. You can have more kids, you can't replace that goal.
Imagine Bellingham's overhead kick, that feeling.
So yeah, I'd rather be in Sol.
Yeah, you would be.
Fucking bring Sol back.
Sol Viva was, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. So I remember...
Were you quick, Seds?
Yeah, I was rapid.
You weren't slow when we played with you, but obviously you must have lost a couple of yards.
Yeah, well, I was 34 when I was playing for you guys. So yeah, I was quick. I was rapid.
We've got this new, like the pods that you put in your back, vests. I've been playing these pre-season games, and my high-speed running's been 0. So
is about right.
I asked the guy, why is... Like, I've been sprinting around and he's like...
Malfunction.
Your pace isn't high enough to get to the threshold of high-speed running for the average of the squad. So it just says
you feel
0.
like you're jogging.
He said, so in the season, we need to work out what you are and set it.
And drop it.
There's some things that you put inside it, don't you?
I
You
was
put it in your
like,
vest.
what a fat old bastard I am.
So basically, your sprint is still classed as everybody else's jog.
Just take it out before game and just throw it someone.
Yeah,
That's
just
what
gash it.
I did it before. Said like I'm running at 45 kilometres an hour. I went. Did it on first session as well.
That's what G-Stock does.
Fair
Of course I
pace.
did.
Yeah, so we even need some new pods, or I just need to...
Just quick it up.
Yeah.
You don't need to be, as long as you score goals, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
Quick enough. You've never been
Good on that
fast.
though, innit? 0
What?
high speed running.
0 high speed running, that's class.
You've never been rapid though, have you?
No.
Still good at running with ball.
Holding off.
So anyway, so
yeah,
there's
that's
2 goals. You're on the roll
Yeah,
now.
so that was it
Seds
then.
is on fire.
Yeah, set me off for the
No
season.
more being spat on.
It was we're about 12 games into the season here and I've not scored.
You lucky bastard.
Yeah, I know.
I'd have been fucked off.
I've been fuming. But yeah, so I ended up finishing top goal scorer for Bury that season. But towards the end of the season...
With how many?
3? No, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. 15 maybe.
15, yeah, still good.
Yeah, something like that. And I remember towards the end of the season, I just started to get like a bit of a sore back, just like a bit stiff every now and again. And then towards the last few games, it just got like worse and worse. And then obviously I didn't realise, but it was the start of my blood disease.
What did you have again?
So I had a thing called spondyloarthropathy.
Fucking hell.
I know.
It's about
It's
$1
a
million
mouthful,
points on the
isn't it?
Scrabble board. Imagine sticking that one on. Scrumble off.
58 points.
What? Didn't you get it in Thailand? Didn't it?
Yeah,
start?
so I'll try and go back to that bit, but I went through all the pre-season, the next season. I didn't play the whole of the next season, near enough, apart from about the last 3 games where I come back, and it was basically my back was that sore. It was all attacking
Inflamed.
all my sciatic nerves. I lost the feeling all down the right hand side of my leg. I got a thing called drop toe. So it's like your big toe here, because my nerves weren't reaching it, it just flops. And I couldn't lift it.
Can you imagine
Can't
saying
really
to
play
Jono?
football when you're like that.
Can you imagine saying to Jono, I can't play today? Why? I can't feel my legs.
I've got drop toe.
Be like, what the
You got a camel toe. No, but yeah, I just had a
I thought
drop
you were going
foot.
to say and repeat what they actually had that
All
one
right,
thing.
no. Just say like, I
That's
can't
not
feel
real.
right side of my leg. You'd be like, get out there now.
No, but I was in hospital at the time. It's not like I was sat at home.
So hang on. So you were still there. You weren't playing all season, but you were getting treated for it at the same time.
Yeah,
but they weren't getting to the root of the problem then.
No,
Obviously.
so I was going for scans. I was having MRI scans, X-rays. I was having steroid injections put into my back to try and make it better, and it was just so weird. It was horrendous.
So what
pain.
are you thinking here?
What do I do?
At the time,
Do you have a club doc?
I thought, obviously the club doctor, and when the MRI scanned it, they said that I had bulges in my discs. So I was thinking maybe one of the bulges is just twinging on a nerve, and they just can't work it out what it is. So they were trying to went in for surgery and trimming the cartilage, trimming the bulges in your back, which is really dangerous anyway. But so they were steroiding it and all sorts, and it just wasn't Like some mornings I'd wake up and you can do like a sciatica test. So you sit on a seat like that, and you put your chin on your chest, and then you raise your foot, and you can feel it on your.
He's got it.
Sciatic nerve, right? I couldn't even
Lift it a little bit.
I couldn't even put my chin on my chest. It was like a horrible shooting pain. I'd have that like 24 hours a day. It was horrendous. And then, so just towards the end of the season, it just started to die down. Nothing changed, didn't do anything, just started to die down. But I'd spent all year, not trained once, just lifting weights in the gym. Like, so like everything just dead static, just lifting weights. And I was big. And I remember like getting back and he threw me in against Kidderminster. Kidderminster were like in the league then. And I remember a ball over at top and I control it and volley it in far corner. And I was like,
I'm back.
Fuck, I'm back. Like, because at one point I've like, you think you're never going to get back. It's heartbreaking. And I remember just, there's a video of me, I run over to the crowd, like I take my top off and I'm just like so excited. Went away, end of the season, so like finished on a high, had a really good pre-season, played the whole next season, finished top goal scorer again. Like I had a big move, like I thought I was going to move. And then me and Barry went into administration and I had the talk saying, look, like we're going to sell you.
Sell our assets.
Yeah, we have to sell you. I don't think I was much. I think someone paid 80 grand or 100 grand for me.
Fucking 100 grand more than I have.
But do you, like, but it was Rushden and Diamonds. So Rushden and Diamonds were in League One at the time. It was the guy who obviously owned Dr. Martens, and their training ground was like a Premier League. It was unbelievable. Like we used to finish training, we'd walk inside. We had our own designated bath with a robe, flip flops. Someone coming on. It was you were like
in League One.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, you're happy there then, aren't you?
Yeah, it was brilliant. The wages were good, but just before I got there, like obviously, like they'd done the deal. Just before I got there, I went on holiday with Jarrett. Well, I think we went Ayia Napa, something like that. And because of like how I am anyway, I was getting up in the morning, running on the beach, keeping myself fit, and I thought,
why?
On holiday, I know.
But it's always been me.
Were you coming back straight into pre-season?
Yeah. No, I just always
Please tell me you were going out at night.
Oh yeah, we weren't getting in till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
But you'd get up and
I'd get up and just run it off. Like I do that now, like all inclusive. I'll drink all day, get up.
That pool aerobics is for all that stuff.
Yeah,
aqua aerobics. And I remember running on the beach, and I thought, fucking hell, like my knee's sore. And then by the time I got back to the hotel, my knee had ballooned up. And I mean like 4 times as big. And I was like, shit, what have I done here? Left it for a couple of days, went down, just gone. I was like, oh, brilliant. Like, must have just been whatever. I went for another run, bang, ballooned up again. I couldn't bend my leg. It was burning. Like
Swelling.
But burning, just a burning sensation. So I rang the physio at my new club. And I told him, and he was like, right, come home early. I think we'd booked a week. I came home after 5 days just because I was worried, you know what I mean? So I cut it short, a couple of days.
That's another thing we wouldn't do.
Yeah, you
wouldn't come home, would you?
Yeah, but the thing is, he's at a club when...
They just bought me.
The chairman is called Dr. Martin.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah. I don't think he was a doctor from a doctor.
That's right, bro. Yeah, I love Dr. Martin.
He came and gave us some free boots.
Fuck, he put some shoes on. You know what he's on about, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
fuck for that.
So so I went to see him, and same again. Like they scanned me and said, "Oh, I think you've got a little bit of like floating cartilage. Easy, open you up, flush it out. 4 weeks, you'll be back." I was like, "Right, sound brilliant." Little knee operation, cleaned it all out. Got back, started to run, boom.
Happened again.
Swelled up again. I was like, fuck. Then my other leg, then my other knee swelled up. And I was like, fucking hell. Left it, like, let it die down. Went on another run. Knee swelled up, ankle swelled up. like I had this horrible burning, like in my stomach and stuff constantly, and I was like
it's in the clumps.
yeah, basically like that, and they just couldn't like. At some point, I thought, like,
when they diagnose you, listen, they always go like most obvious things first.
Yeah.
And the least obvious is always the last thing, because you think, well, how the fuck's he going to have something so obscure?
Yeah. Well,
They
that
always
was the
pick it
thing.
last.
It took. So I never played once for Russian
Russian
Diamonds.
Diamonds?
Never played once, and he ended up.
What were they giving you a week?
Oh, I don't know, a couple of grand a week. Okay. Yeah, and
You went fucking under.
it was just it was the worst. I'd say that's the worst time of my life ever. I think, because I remember I was living in a house down there. The doctor had got to a point. Sorry, like the club had got to a point where they're just like, don't come in.
Doctor.
Don't come in. Like there's just like
It's pointless.
because I was going to the hospital. I was having tests for like leukemia, like HIV, like anything you can think of. I was having tests for and scans for. And then what they were doing, they were a bit like an epidural. They were drawing fluid from my spine, and like the pain. Like I don't know if anyone's ever had that. If you're not a woman who's pregnant. But it's horrendous.
Bird had it, but she already whacked up on morphine before she had it.
It is horrendous. So I was having that to try and see what was wrong with all
Proper
these
needle
tests.
that big, and you stick it in your back.
Yeah, bad. And I remember, like, got to Christmas time, and during this time, I'd not told my mum or my dad or anything like what was wrong. I just said like I had a bad knee, like, and I was just waiting to like have an op and stuff. I didn't want him to worry.
Yeah, but I'd always tell him me.
I know, but I'm living miles away from home.
You don't
and
want
I
him to.
just
don't need
didn't
to
want
know.
him to worry. I just didn't want him to. So we're having all these tests for like you're waiting to see what like bone cancer, like leukemia,
Yeah.
HIV, and I just didn't want to put that worry on my mum and dad, like sat at home when I'm not with them. So I never told them. I just told them that like I had a bad knee, and I remember Christmas Eve. So I never went home at Christmas because I said that I had I think I had some kind of a blood test on Boxing Day that I had to do. So I thought, oh, there's no point in going home. And I remember sat in my kind of like house on my own, and it was on an electric meter.
Christmas Day.
Yeah, and I remember sat there.
I like you when I.
It did.
I knew you were going to say
The electric went off.
So proper, I shouldn't laugh, it's proper sad, but just seeing the picture in there, mate, the light goes off.
That's exactly what it was like.
Hello,
Christmas
Dr.
Day.
Smile, friend.
Christmas Day. Do you know what I had for my Christmas Day? I had a microwave spaghetti bolognese as well.
How's
And
your
the electric
head
went. The electric went off. The TV went off. The lights went off. The heating went off. I was just sat there,
It's like some off a film.
and I remember just bursting into
Well, you're all right
tears.
now, so it's all right to laugh.
Yeah, bursting into tears, just thinking. It's really weird. It really weird. I got to a point where, touch wood, this never happens to me. But I got to a point where I wanted to tell them that I wanted them to tell me that I had like cancer or something. You know, so like at least I knew.
The unknown's one of the
Yeah.
worst things.
It was horrible because like like some days when I tried to do stuff, I had to go and sit in like a freezing cold bath, and I'd be crying in pain because all my literally my elbows and my fingers and my knees would be
wanna know what
on
it is.
fire. I mean, like on fire.
Well, it's one when you know what it is, then you think, right, we can fucking crack on now.
Yeah. At least I can
deal
attack
with
it.
and
I can go and deal with
Just
it.
sat in the dark.
I remember, I think I was watching Only Fools and Horses as well. I was buzzing. It just bang went off, and I was like,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
it was that thing. But I remember I went to. They then sent me to see a rheumatologist in Bath.
It shouldn't be funny, that.
I'm glad me nearly died and cheers you guys up.
Oh, fuck me. Tell me that.
So yeah, and it's tickled you. So I remember going seeing this specialist, and I had all these tests, and basically this guy said, he basically said, if David Beckham had what you had, he'd come and see me. Like that's how
the top guy.
specialist I were. Anyway, he told me that look, I think you've got this kind of, it's linked to Crohn's disease. And he said, I think you've got this. We need to do some tests. It's a very rare, like, new kind of condition. Anyway, it come back and I had it, this spondyloarthropathy. It's basically my own immune system had, like, knocked out a sink and was just attacking me. And he said, I'll be honest with you, it could sort itself out in 6 months. It could be 6 years. It could be 60 years. Like, I don't know. It's your own body. So obviously,
you're a good one.
I know. I was like, cheers. So basically, like, you've got to retire, haven't you? You've got to retire. So I remember, like, going speaking to the doctor sent notes to the PFA, and then it comes back and so you have to, like.
Do you get weighed in for that retiring early?
Got 30 grand.
It's
It's rubbish, innit?
Yeah,
not when you're on $2,000 a week.
Yeah, but still, it's.
Yeah, but your career's done.
It's
Yeah,
but
that's it. I'm
if
done.
your career's done. You've got 30 grand. I don't know if you owned your own house, but it's something to put towards something.
Yeah.
And get on with something else.
Yeah, well, at that time, I was just glad that I knew what it were, and I could just I can go and.
Did you have to have a special diet and things like that? Because
No.
it was so new, it could just go.
So, like, every month, I had to keep having blood tests and basically just, like, measuring the inflammation in your blood. And, like, I remember they put, like, a dye in my body, like a purple dye, and it highlights, like, hot spots in your body where you've got this inflammation.
Scan it and see where
Most people will have, like, anything between 6 and 10, and I had, like, 80 odd. That's how, like, yeah. And I dropped about 4 stone because I couldn't eat, because I had this, you got that sickly feeling all the time in your stomach. I had that constantly. I was being sick. And anyway, yeah, so.
I was going to say, right, I've never been with a PFA because I've never been in the league. But, like, can I not ring them and just say, listen, I've played football for, like, 16 years now, one below where I need to be.
Yeah,
Is there anything you can do for me, or would they not be able to do anything?
No.
No, but it does seem harsh, doesn't it? Because
that's a bit harsh, isn't it?
You played for pro clubs, haven't you? Where that's been your job.
Yeah,
so you've been a pro footballer.
Yeah, but I think you've got. I'd have to check this, but, like, unless you paid into the PFA, you're not a member. You're paying to be a member.
Right, you pay into it.
Yeah, you pay into it. So, like, if you go to a pro club, like, in the league, they take every month out of everyone's wage. That's like, it's called a non-contributory fund. Like, they automatically take it out.
You might just get the phone call where they give you the 6 NAs. They go, na 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 na.
No, they're not going to give enough of that.
No. But then again,
because, like, some of the lads were like, they're paying for my course doing this, and I was like,
have they played in the league?
Like,
no, you don't. Just even if you've been a YT.
Yeah.
YT.
I've done like a shit YT at Crew.
Yeah. That's true.
You played higher level than me, but they do, and honestly, it does come in handy for stuff like that. But
yeah, loads of education.
Anyway, you've done well with
injuries,
injuries, haven't you? You never had big injuries.
Touch wood.
That's all they give. That's all they give you, the old cheap scan.
I just asked someone who might know, but
give you the old cheap scan.
So go on, you as purple.
Yeah. So that was it. Yeah, like, fucking dream over again.
30 grand, start again.
30 grand. I went working at Main Gas.
Did you?
In a factory.
Yeah. You worked a little bit at Burnley Football Club, didn't you?
Worked at Burnley Football Club doing a bit of coaching.
That's depressing, isn't it?
Mate, it was so depressing. Like, I went and worked on what's called a Suprema line. So you're making a Suprema boiler. And I had a belt on.
Boilers, by the way.
I had a belt on which has like a gas drill. And this boiler used to come down off this line. And I had to put the gas tubes in, fit it, move it along. I think I had 27 seconds to do my job, then the next one come down. I had to put my hand up to go for a piss. And I was thinking, fucking 24-year-old, like, fucking what has happened to me? It was a bad time.
Yeah.
I went through a bit of a... I think that's when I had a record amount of fights in Burnley.
Oh, is that when you were scrapping out there?
Yeah.
Or when you're training, you can go for a piss when you want, can't you? Bushes and that. Must have been frustrating.
I think I was just angry at the world. You know what I mean? I was.
Yeah. As you
So-
would be.
As
Yeah.
you would be, yeah.
So we've been... Would you say Rushden and Diamonds was an obviously before all this, that would have been like an ideal move.
That was the highlight, yeah, and then
we're back down.
big dip.
And now we're back up again. Padiham FC.
Padiham
aren't we?
FC, yeah.
Is that where it started?
Well, that was the thing. So I didn't play.
You played for Padiham,
What a
didn't you?
place.
Yeah, I didn't play for
What a
about
team.
2.5 years.
Did you get right?
Yeah, yeah. So every month or so, I used to go and have these blood tests, and I was like, it just eventually started getting less and less and less, and then I just started like gymming, and then like going back down the boxing gym and like running, and I'd get to like 8 or 9 minutes, and then I'd feel that pain, so then I'd stop. Then the next day, 9 minutes, 9 minutes, 9 minutes, and then eventually started getting like 10 minutes, 12 minutes,
so
15 minutes. And I was like, fucking hell, yeah, it's going. And I could feel it going. So that was it then. Like, I want to play football again. Like, I'm 27.
Still
I want to
time.
play football again. Filesy was at Padiham, and it was after Christmas. And he said, right, come and play for the last, like, half a season.
Fowles is like record scoring. If
I played up front with
Yeah,
Fowler.
class player.
Me and Fowler
Such a
were
class
decent.
player, yeah. It's like such a good goal scorer. So me and him played like up front for the rest of the season. And I'd started off getting like 20 minutes, then half an hour, then 45. And before the end of the season, I was playing like 90-minute games. So I was like, right, pre-season, I'm going to get myself fitter than anybody else in the world. Like that was my thing. I was like, I want to be fitter than anybody else. And then Tony Ellis, who I knew from when I played pro, he'd gone to Hyde. So he said, come down pre-season. So I remember going down, and I was super fit. I mean, like super fit. And I just started the season. I finished that season 47 goals.
Is that where you met Dootson?
That's where I met. No, I met Dukes at Bury. He was
ya?
a goalkeeper, yeah. But that's where I met like one of my best pals, Sid Pickford, and we had some of the
Pico.
best times. Some of the best times in my life was at Hyde. It was just,
You win the
When
league?
you speak about Hyde, you always say,
I just loved it. I think that's because it was my first club back from when I thought I was freaking dying. Never play football again. Because the doctor said to
And
me,
you
like,
scored
you'll never
47
play.
goals in a
I had
season.
I had a worldy season. I got picked for the England C team,
Yeah.
and I was 28, which don't usually happen, does it? First time.
What league was he in then?
They're in the Conference North.
And you won that?
No, we didn't go up.
You didn't go up?
What the rest of them must be shit.
What were you doing?
We didn't even
Sid
go up.
Pickers. Fucking hell.
Sed's got 47, team got 49.
Yeah, so we ended up just having a real good season. Like, loved it. Just enjoyed playing football again, and just that buzz of scoring. And I was
Teammates
so
as well.
confident. Yeah, just that. Like, we had like Earl Davis, Craig Dootson, Sid Pickford. Just had a real Tiphead. We just had a real good team, and he was such a good crack. I moved over to Manchester. Yeah, just like I felt like my life had started again. Then I had another really good season, and then Kettering, who was in our league, they'd gone full time, and their chairman was throwing loads of money at the club, and they'd just been promoted to the National League, and they came in for me, and it was a chance for me to go full time again.
Yeah.
I thought I'd never have the chance to go full time.
Whether it was National League or not.
Whether it was
what's
National League, I
what's
didn't care.
Seds, what's the 30 grand to leave football? If you went back into the league, would you have had to pay that back?
I have to pay that back and more.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's like, luckily there's some decent teams paying out good dough in conference, because if you went like to a League Two team, it wouldn't be worth it, would it?
Yeah, so
'Cause they
like
wouldn't be able to pay you enough for you to make that
yeah,
make
and I think a
sense.
league team would have had to pay like 50, 60 grand for me, and then
pay
me a decent wage. And that I'm 28, 29 by then. So like Kettering, just I don't know what they paid for me. It was a chance to go full time. I moved down there, and yeah, it was that dream again. Like you said, I didn't care that it was National League. It was just that dream of doing football as a job again after everything that I'd been through. And we had such a good season. We got to the first round of the FA Cup, and it was live on Sky, and I ended up getting the winning goal. Then we got the second round live on Sky, got the winning goal. Third round live on Sky, and got the winning goal. Just an unbelievable
Where'd you get to
fairy
fourth?
tale. We got to the fifth round, got beat off Fulham in the fifth
People
round.
must have been having a look at you there.
Yeah, I think they were. Yeah, loads of people. So I think still I think the National League is the highest that Kettering have ever done. And I ended up with 25 league goals in the National League, plus obviously all your cup goals as well. I think I ended up with 32 goals in like first season back in full-time football.
And then teams wouldn't just be looking at you like, oh, he's done this for Kettering. They'd have gone back to your previous clubs. You've done it in the league already. You've done it in the league.
Yeah. But then I'm touching.
It's strange, but it'd have to be probably at least a League One team with decent money
or a champ team. But I'm closing in on 30 years old.
Yeah. It's not happening, is it?
It's not happening, is it? So, yeah, I had a really, really good season at Kettering. Started the next season, scored a few goals, and then I found out that I was having my first child back home. So I had a decision to make, like, do I stay where I am or do I need to, like, move back home and relocate, like, back home? And obviously I was always going to choose going back to my...
Padiham.
Going back to Padiham, yeah. Going back home, just to, like, you want to be near your baby, don't you?
Of course. Yeah.
So then that's when Fleetwood came in for me. So same again, Andy Pilley, big money, wanted to buy a striker to, like, get through the leagues.
Well, did you go in the season when they're in the what's it called, the National League, the Conference?
No, I had to drop down a league.
Well, so you went in Conference North?
So I was in the National League with Kettering. I had to drop down to the National, but they were still
But you knew you got
full time. Oh, yeah, they offered me more money. And I remember speaking to the manager, Mark Cooper at Kettering, and he was like, "Look, mate, you've got to do what you've got to do." Like, I'd had a brilliant time down there, and I remember I was having my sleeve done, and I'd booked in for one last session. I packed up my car, one last session to get it finished, and then I was driving back home. And I remember parking up in Kettering Town Centre, outside the tattoo shop. All my cars full of all my clothes, my suitcase and everything. I've gone in, 3-hour session, come back out, and there's a load of crowd of people in the road, police van and everything. I'm thinking, fucking hell, what's going on here? And I looked outside, and there's glass everywhere, and this car's been battered. Like, there's a car with the windscreen missing, all the passenger windows smashed in, all the rear window, and I was like, fucking hell, what's happened there? Then I realised it's my car. And I'm like...
Some angry Kettering fan.
Yeah, not angry Kettering fans. A few lads in Kettering, obviously, they weren't happy with the off-the-field stuff that I'd been doing while I was down there. Yeah. So...
Just smash your car.
So they'd, because I had a private reg at the time, so they'd seen my car, seen it all packed up with stuff, knowing that I'd leave. Obviously, it was always...
Last chance.
It was in the newspaper, yeah, that I was leaving. Yeah, last chance, right. They pulled up in a van, jumped out, just baseball batted my car. So I ended up...
doing that.
So yeah.
What had you done?
I think I was seeing a few girls at the same time.
You think you were seeing a few girls?
Yeah, just... So yeah, that's...
Were the gangsters all like cardboard
No, I don't
gangsters?
think so. I just
That was a gangster if he didn't stay.
No, I think it was just lads like you who just pissed off. Just like, we're just going to do him over. Just going to do him over before we go. So yeah, that was my...
So how did you get home?
Did you get your sleep finished?
I didn't go home that night. I had to stay down. Luckily, they didn't touch the bodywork. They just put all the windows through and then shot back in the van and shot off. So basically, just
Quick trip to quick
auto
fit.
windscreen. Yeah, got them down. I think it cost me £100 or something, just like excess. All my windows done. Slept over at a mate's house.
One of their birds' houses.
Yeah. Slept at one of the girls' houses and then drove home next day. Yeah, and then that was it. Moved to Fleetwood.
Did you go to end of season then? Start the season.
Start the season. So we were.
That's that season we'd have been playing then. That sort of time. I remember. Did you go neck and neck with Southport?
Yeah, we did go. Yeah.
For the league. I mean, you're thinking Fleetwood are just going to romp it.
Yeah, we should have romped it really.
And you ended up getting up in playoffs, didn't you?
Yeah, we got up through the playoffs.
It's mad, that, isn't it? So
I remember my first game. So obviously Andy Pilley, like me and Andy Pilley, got a great relationship, and I remember him signing me. So I don't know if, they must have paid a bit of money for me, and obviously them being like a Conference North team, everyone's like, "What are you paying that money for a flipping 30-year-old or whatever?"
League.
Yeah. And I remember on my debut, I scored a hat trick, and then you go up to the players' bar, and I didn't know this, but I got up to the players' bar, had a load of beers, like they put it on for like all the lads at night, and then I'd gone home and gone out, and Andy Pilley had done this speech by saying, "That's why we signed him. He's come, he's scored an hat trick, he's come upstairs and got pissed with all lads, and then he's took one of my barmaids home." He said, "This lad's going to be a legend."
He goes along with the old school blokes like all that.
He loved it, yeah.
And that's it. Stockport and like, even at Salford, we'd always have beers after.
Yeah, every time.
It was class.
It's
But
good.
like Andy Pilley still says now,
Gary Neville hated it.
Did he?
Hated it.
yeah, but he's come from a different kind of a level, hasn't he?
Yeah. I remember when we had that fight.
Yeah, but he used to
remember the
play
fight?
with Roy Keane. Fucking hell. We were playing with... No, I'm not going to say someone's name. I don't think we
Don't remember the fight in hotel football?
That was bad.
Where
wasn't
that
it?
guy come in, kicked off with our right back, Dom.
Yeah.
Dom, yeah.
Burns sparked him out. So Gary Neville's come down saying, "Right, who was that guy that's just come in fighting? We want the CCTV, we want this, we want him prosecuted." And then someone went, "We can't do that. Burns just knocked him out." He went, "Delete the CCTV, chuck him out the front door, just get rid of any evidence." Yeah, he was funny like that. Fucking brilliant.
What a guy. He was brilliant.
But yeah, he didn't like us boozing that much.
No.
But
No.
you wouldn't, would you?
We did.
No.
We did all right.
Especially the amount of
didn't
money
we?
that he was putting into the club. He wants it run right. And I get it. Totally get it. He's right in what he's thinking.
That season, we got to second. We put it on TV about 8 times.
Yeah, we put him on the map.
We got
didn't
promoted.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just who we were as players. We're still the same people now. The users, and then go on to the more professional as you get older. But you do lose that banter.
You do, though, like-
You do lose that banter.
But like you
Can't
talk to the
help it.
fans now and they say like, we miss the old
Fans,
days.
there's about 6
Yeah.
left.
It is,
We
but
had
like
more.
they do.
Half of them was in Isle of Man watching Blackburn.
Yeah, but they miss it though because it's that non-league like mentality, family in
It's
it.
our granddad's generation used to go for a pint with old Burnley players
Yeah.
after the game, and they'd have a beer with them and talk to them about game and stuff.
Yeah, you can't do
Now
that
you
now,
can't
can
talk to a player, can you?
Can't even speak to someone at flipping like Bar and Olswick. 'Cause
Yeah, they got segregated at Barn.
earphones in and off they go up to the flipping. You know what I mean?
Goons.
Exactly.
Right, so after that speech, you just carried on.
Yeah, so we
scoring.
ended up. Yeah, I scored a load of goals that season. We went up through the playoffs, got promoted to the National League. That second season, we had a really good season, but we got beat off. I think it was Wimbledon in the
AFC.
in the playoffs. Yeah. They beat us in the play. They beat us from like 6-1. I was looking.
Fucking hell.
I know. And I remember coming in at half time with 3-0 down, and I think I'd missed like a half chance, but hardly anything. And I remember Steve McNulty fucking hammering everyone as we walked in, fucking like, and he'd been dog crap. He like we're 3-0 down at half time. Like I think he was just mad and he was like throwing the blame around, and then he's come at me, and then I've come back at him. And I remember us both just jumping up and like flying into each other at half time. And we ended up on the floor. All the scousers are filling me in to protect him. And I remember
He'd been good at the old belly flop, wasn't he? That McNulty? Pin you down.
Why are you fighting him?
You are?
He's the last person I have a fight with.
he's all right. He's a good lad. And yeah, Mickey Mellon come and like split it all up. He had a big like bust nose, and I remember him going in the back. And to be fair to him, he come back out, and I was thinking he's gonna fly into me. Yeah, and he like as soon as he comes towards me, I'm just gonna hit him.
Tee off on him.
Yeah, because you panic, don't you? And then
You're ready to go.
karate chop. But as he's come over, he just like give me a high five. Just said, like, that was it, gone.
Yeah, so it should be.
Yeah, it was class. It was class. And
Yeah,
Mickey was like,
he went out and did well.
we went out and lost 5-0, no 5-1.
He only did that because he's seen Seds secretly getting his gi out of his bag.
I put my white belt on.
It's a fascinating thing.
Cobra Kai.
But we were missing something that season. Even though I played up front, we were missing something. Like we weren't good enough. And I remember that sort of, I've talked about it before. That next season, start the season, we got Vardy in.
an unknown player called Jamie Vardy at the time.
Mate, and like, I've said it loads of times on this podcast, like he just floated onto the pitch. He like glided across it, and he was just unbelievable that season. And I'll go back to...
I played for him the season before when it fell at Halifax. And he fucking just as good then.
Was
Played
it?
with him?
Against him, yeah.
All right.
We played a game and he just had a big guy up front. Keeper would drench it, so he'd just ping it like that. That's James Dean, you know.
Yeah.
He'd just go, and Vardy would go, and score. It happened 4 times. We got beat 4-2. We battered him the rest of the game. Got beat 4-2.
He was unbelievable. He's finishing, and I like, even when I was at Everton and I was playing with them, like I know I never played like in a Premier League game with them. It was only in training. But playing with Vardy, I'll still to this day say he's the best player that I've played with.
He looks like, if you could design a striker, number 9, he won't be far off. Because quick,
wiry,
works hard,
strong,
strikes it well,
aggressive,
yeah,
so aggressive. Like there's so many times where he was on the brink of being like sent off.
I looked at Harry Kane in that Euros, and obviously might have been told not to flipping, but he just looked like he fucking couldn't be arsed, didn't he?
Like
every game.
Like Vardy was never like that. Yeah, Vardy played on the edge of like I said, either being unbelievable or
straight red and
being sent off.
Was he the diff? Did you romp the league or were it still tight?
We romped the league. We were like, Wrexham was second. I think we ended up with supposedly the record amount of points to ever win the National League.
Wow.
It's like 111 points or something.
Did you get a trophy for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but was that the National League North or the National League?
No, the National League.
Oh, so you went into League 2?
So we went into League 2,
you couldn't go.
but I couldn't go. And I remember sat down. I know.
We were back in the house. Someone fucking cable cut all his wires and just back it dark again.
But I remember having the conversation with Andy Pilley, and he was like, Seds, like I can take you with us. He said, but you
have to pay you no money.
But he's like, you're 32. I think it was 32 or 33, and he was like, you could probably stay in the National League and get more money than what we're paying you. And he said, I'm not sure.
It's not
if you're going to
financially don't make sense.
And it didn't. And I was like, Andy, I totally get it. And I'm happy to leave. Like, I don't want to leave, but I understand it. I'm happy to leave. So they went to League 2.
Was that because he would have to pay your...
He'd have to pay that big chunk of a share.
Yeah.
And my wages.
Yeah.
And for what though? For maybe 1 year, 2 years? Like, what's he going to get out of me at that? Like, even though I felt I was still playing very, very well, and I think because I'd had that big chunk of time, from 24 to 27, my legs were fresh. Do you know what I mean? At 32, 33, I felt like 25. It was the best that I'd probably been playing. So yeah, I was disappointed, but I understood it. And then he ended up going to Halifax. So Halifax were throwing money around, I think. Oh no, they go to Chester. No, I went to Chester. Sorry. No, I moved to Chester.
Halifax then Chester.
It'd definitely been a team where they were throwing money around.
Did I go Halifax then Chester?
I've got Halifax tonight.
Yeah, it was Halifax.
Seds, it would definitely been a team where they were throwing money around. That's
the only place you went.
That one. Don't need to change that statement.
You didn't even have to tell us
Chester
that.
throwing money around with Halifax. Both.
It was Halifax. It was Halifax, yeah, because they were throwing money around, a lot of money. And I'd just come off the back of a really good season, so. Then
you went to Chester, and this is my favourite bit about you. You used to travel in with Linny.
Oh, brilliant.
And, go on, you'll have to tell us, because it's fucking brilliant.
So I used to travel in with Linny.
What was going on?
So
Paul Linwood.
Yeah, so I had a little girl, and she must have been 2, 3 by then, 2. Yeah. And me and her mum weren't together. And at the time, you know, like when mums have all the power, and she just weren't letting me see her. Or if she said, right, okay, you can have her on Friday, and then she'd
change the plans.
Then she'd change the plans, or I'd get there, and the house would be in darkness, and I'm like, where are you? Not telling you. Do you know what I mean? Just things like that. I'd meet Linny in the morning, and he'd go, I'd get in the car and he'd go, how are you, pal? And I'd go, yeah, And he said, he'd get so embarrassed, I'd just be sat there and just start crying. And Lydia would be like going, oh, it looks like it's going to be a nice day anyway.
Just change subject.
Yeah.
He said I used to fucking put my window down and turn the radio right up.
That's a proper bloke response.
Honestly,
You can imagine Linny though, can't you? That's what he was like.
If I needed to cry, I just wouldn't cry anywhere near Linny. Or you.
I know, but sometimes you couldn't help it though. It was just, I was going for a bad time.
Yeah.
But Linny's the worst person to talk to.
They used to travel into Chester. We're professional at the time.
Yeah, Linny used to send me. He used to send me clips or like leaflets to donate to no, what were it to so I could get an orphan.
Fostering.
Fostering an orphan. He'd say, I know you can't see your own kid, but what about getting another one? Like,
That's funny.
so I used to get in the car in the morning and have me a leaflet.
Farmers for Justice.
Yeah, just
Jesus Christ.
I think one day he bought me a Superman suit, and he was like, "We'll go campaigning in the town hall, like, Farmers for Justice." So yeah,
You really liked the journey to Chester, didn't you?
Oh, God. I left half left Stockport because of Gannon, but just it was a long way to go. We used to train at mad times during rush hour traffic, and then end up signing for Chester. It's exact same journey, but an extra hour.
yeah, it's a long way.
It's a hell of a long way.
Because when you get off any kind of motorway, it's like another hour.
Thursday nights. Oh God.
You
come back up and then have to come back down again.
We were full
At
time.
least you were full time.
Yeah, I
Get your
suppose.
Fridays off or Friday afternoons off.
Friday afternoon off. Yeah.
But then I'd still think, what's point going home? You might as well just stay down.
Remember when Chester fans saved me?
When?
So we beat them 2-1. Guys were playing for Chester. Or did you just come down for the day and I drove?
I were injured, I think.
Yeah. So I went in the bar after to get steaming with him, but I was driving.
Yeah.
And the Chester fans kicked off with me because I'd scored 2 and they hated me. So I got kicked out of the bar straight away. And we had to drive home. On the way home, me and Gaz, he's pretty pissed anyway because he's been drinking because he's injured. We get to I don't know, Cheshire Oaks or something. Get pulled over by the police, didn't we? Because they had them blacked out windows.
Yeah, blacked out windows.
So Gaz rolled his window down. The guy went, "Your tints are a bit dark." Gaz went, "Are they?" He went, "And?" The guy went, "You're lucky I've not got my tint machine on me so I can't check." Gaz just, as he was winding the window down, he went, "Fuck him, drive, he's not got his machine." But obviously, if I'd have had a few beers, I'd have been fucked there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
all he
right.
said was, "I've not got my machine." So he just went, "Have you not? Right, well, fuck off."
Yeah,
And we
what can
drove
you do?
off.
You can't do anything. You can't have your tint machine. That sounds made up as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Tint
My
machine.
tint machine, tint window device.
He was pissed. He went, "Oh, he's chatting shit. He fucking drive." He just drove off. Oh, fucking hell.
Blacked out
So
windows.
it's a great club though. It's a great area as well, Chester.
it's nice.
Like we used to have some
good
brilliant
night out.
nights out.
Yeah, it's a good night
Some
out.
brilliant nights out. And we only just stayed up that season. Only just
Why
avoided
was that?
relegation. Just that
All the budget went on you.
just don't think.
It's
Yeah, I
hard,
don't
isn't
know.
it, that league?
It's tough that league. There were some big clubs in that, and we just didn't play well. We were struggling all season. I remember Andy Gray was at Andre Gray was at Luton at the time. Yeah,
Really good.
class.
Did he bag him in that season?
Yeah, he finished top goal scorer by a mile. I think I finished top goal scorer for Chester. I think on 8.
Good season.
That just shows.
You have a good night. Good couple of nights out.
Yeah.
Though. You're winding down then, aren't you?
34-ish. 34-ish.
Travelling up and down Brentford country. It's hard work.
Yeah, 33, 34, yeah. And I just wanted out. So I think I dropped down a league.
I'm going to say, what made you go to Salford?
Oh, well, no, it was Gary that. Oh, no.
We're
Have I
free.
mentioned the Halifax? Yeah, so. Yeah, the Halifax. Like, the only real highlight he had at Halifax was.
In your hair.
Yeah. I scored a hat trick in 2 minutes 37 seconds in the cup. It's still a record.
Why have I never heard that one?
I just don't like to talk about it.
I was surprised you're not on that one.
It's on YouTube.
The
yeah.
FA Cup
Hat-trick
or
in-
the West Yorkshire Community Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're at a Div Cup, yeah.
No,
The
like
FA Cup?
I think it was the FA Vars.
Fucking hell.
Fastest ever. Yeah, I think it's something like the fifth fastest ever. 2 minutes 37
all my
seconds.
goals are just like, scored a goal. Never scored 2 in a game, I don't think.
No,
ever since.
definitely.
Don't get a
never.
brace.
Never.
Yeah, so that was my only highlight, and then obviously, like everyone's heard about the big fallout with like Neil Aspin and not paying my bonuses and stuff like that. Yeah, and then it was Chester, and then I was wondering what to do, whether to retire or. But I still felt like I think because I'd missed them years, I wanted to play for as long as I could, and then Gary Neville phoned me up on like a no caller ID on a Sunday afternoon when I was with.
Why did he
Melissa.
pick you, or what was...
Did you think it were him?
Did you know him?
Did you know he were calling?
No.
It's Gary Neville, like, fuck off.
Well, I did at the time, yeah. I think, so obviously, because I used to play for Bury, obviously his mum and dad both used to work for Bury. I think he used to come and watch the games, and I just think that he'd obviously seen me leaving Chester, which is...
Local. Think you were a local lad.
Yeah, local lad. He knew of me being an ex-pro. I were dropping down 3 leagues, I think it were. So I think he thought like it'd be a good role model. And like he kind of said that to me on the phone. He said, look, I knew you when he was at Bury, and like we need a goal scorer, and we need an experienced head in the dressing room who's going to kind of like guide the young lads. Plus, you might be on telly. Sold.
Plus, we're throwing some right cash in it.
Well, that was the truth, yeah.
Do you not think it's weird how they kept hold of Phil Power? Is he called Phil Power?
Yeah. But I think they had to.
Yeah, he'd done a job the year before.
But it seemed like a... What job did he do the year before, though? We went up that year, didn't we?
Yeah.
No, but I don't think they wanted to be seen as coming in...
It's weird though, isn't
and
it?
Changing everything,
Yeah.
Sacking the manager,
Yeah.
so they had to keep Phil for a bit.
I suppose, yeah, but it just feels a bit harsh on him to sack him middle of the season.
Yeah, but we weren't doing as well as we should
I know,
have done,
but
should we?
they should just usually come in, new owners, everything's changed, come in, put your own man in charge. That's what usually happens. And if you're a manager for previously, you hold your hands up and go, fair dues, they want their own people in.
Yeah.
Instead of, can hold it back me? And then... Hey, I've been sacked. It didn't look. I felt well sorry for him.
It was funny.
Well, I've been sacked.
Sat with that pint.
Yeah, we were.
But that's the thing, yeah. Like it was, like you have a phone call off Gary Neville saying that the Class of '92 have bought a club and they want me to come and be like the senior
Marquee
pro
signing.
and the marquee signing.
You and Webber, weren't it?
Yeah, couldn't really say no.
It's not a bad offer, that, is it?
No.
Your age?
Well, actually, at the time, it was me. And then we played. I don't know if you remember, we played against Man United Old Boys.
Oh, at the Salford's rugby ground.
Salford Rugby. And Danny Webber was playing for them. And Danny Webber was class. And that's when Danny Webber then signed
still
for
do
us.
it.
Yeah.
So he was like, all right, I've still got it. I've just hammered you lot, so...
Well, no, I think Gary had said, like, you know, Webb's like, you're still a really good player. Like, do you fancy a couple more seasons with us?
He was probably ready to retire, weren't he? And then he had 2 flipping great seasons.
Two great seasons. What a player he was as well.
Yeah, very
great
good.
guy. Great guy.
But it got even better as well, didn't it, halfway through?
The big dogs come.
Oh, when the Ramsbottom lads come. That was it. Was that the second season or first season?
That
First
was
season.
the-
First season.
Yeah, because you were doing proper
it can't
shit.
have been.
No, it weren't.
No, it's
It
got
were
to be
the
second
first season.
season, that.
It was the first
Yeah,
season.
it must have been first season, yeah.
Because
John
we beat him in that cup game. He got suspended, and John's first game, he couldn't be on the touchline, could he? Because he
Yeah, because me and John
Because he
got
dropped
sent
Seds.
off for arguing each
was
other.
he walloped Seds.
He didn't wallop me. He walloped
Sam Mason.
Sam Mason.
Fuck me, I could have battered him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so that was the appeal, obviously. And then it was, obviously, joining there. I think I was 34, 35, joining Salford. I thought, I'll have a couple of more years, and then that's me done. And then the documentary started, and that was just a whirlwind. Like
Watching you running up that hill with
Yeah.
the beanie hat. I used to have a beanie hat. Everyone used to have them, didn't they?
brilliant.
Well,
That changed my life, that.
Your 3/4.
3/4
Or
running pant.
2/5 or whatever, 3/5.
But like I kind of had to take that opportunity because of all the shit that I'd gone through and I felt like I had missed out on a lot of stuff when I retired, because I do think I'd have gone higher and done well. So when that kind of like second chance of like, you know, that 15 minutes of fame and going, do you know what, I deserve this.
Yeah, you maximised it.
Yeah, I maximised it.
It's good.
And it was really good. Like, obviously, a lot of the stuff that you saw in the documentary was like me just being my natural silly self, but also a lot of it like
Staged.
He staged as well.
Of course
Yeah.
it is. They
I'm
come
lucky
into
you'd
my
grown
house.
into your face by then.
I had, yeah.
They come to my house and interview me, and I'm thinking, they're not going to fucking use this. It's fucking boring.
Boring.
They really wanted to come and watch me at
Your
Windows.
mum's
They wanted to
front
come
room.
and watch me at Windows. I said, nah, you can't do that.
Why didn't you? It would have been...
You were
It
brilliant.
would have been funny.
But it was such a, like I say, it turned my life around, because then it's probably opened up a lot of doors that I did afterwards.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like moving into like the agency world, I feel like
Big shot agent now, lad.
I just feel like the stuff that I've learned, not only like younger when I got released, and even the stuff in the RAF about like you don't get anything unless you work for it. Like your mentality's got to be right. At any point, it can be taken away from you.
Even if your mentality is bang on, you can still
Be taken
fucking
away. And
well
that's one thing that I really try and drill into like all of my players, that football's the best job in the world. You'll never get a better job, and you've got the most incredible opportunity to do something that millions of other people don't. So don't pass it up.
And if you do really well, I make more money too. Come on, you can do it.
I think...
Don't pass it in the box.
I don't think there'll be many, like, good football players who got to your level that would admit they were dog shit in school as well. And, like, they couldn't actually play football when they
That
started.
is weird. Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a weird start. So if
think,
anyone's...
think of all the dads as well.
Yeah, if any dads have got
Well,
really
they say that
shit
Jude
kids...
Bellingham, didn't they? Jude Bellingham's
Don't
supposed
worry.
to not bother with football until they're about 13.
Yeah, I think sometimes.
You get some dads in there like there with 3-year-old football.
Well, there you got like you
I
see
was-
them all like Project Mbappe at like 3-year-old, but
I peaked at 4-year-old.
that's what I mean,
I was
yeah.
fucking unbelievable.
at 4.
Yeah.
But like you'll get to 10 years old, and you're fed up of it because you've not been playing for the love of it. And I think sometimes let's just let kids be kids.
I think you've got to play with your mates as well, win something with your mates, you know, like school team or
Yeah.
local team, where you go into like these, you go play playing teams and you're travelling all back together with your parents and you go for a drink after and stuff. You learn how to win, because I didn't used to like
Yeah.
playing. I like training, but I used to love winning, the feeling of winning. There's nothing better.
But I don't think there's
Bottom
anything
scoring.
wrong either in being the best player in that team. You know, like,
Yeah,
because
yeah, get a bit of-
as soon as you're the best player, you move to an academy. Just be the best player in that team. Be the standout where, you can dribble it round 6 players and smash it in top corner, because that's how you get your confidence. That's how you get your dribbling ability and thinking like, I am something.
Do you not think, someone mentioned it, because the Bielsa, the old Leeds manager, football, I thought in the Euros, it's got a bit
Fucking
boring.
boring.
It's like, there's hardly any goals, because every single team, back 4, pass it around, back and keeper for about 5 minutes, then we'll
Yeah.
try and attack. Other team, before they attack back, they'll do the same thing. The game's only got interesting if a team scored and another team needs to score another goal
Has to
last 20
score.
minutes.
When do you ever see
It
a
will
player
change. I think it'll change
pick up
again.
and just dribble, like want to dribble past somebody and like bend one it top? Just
Yeah, if you lose
hardly
it,
done
so
happen.
what? Next time you might not lose it
Yeah.
and just go for it. But I think it'll change. Football does evolve, doesn't it? It can't just be Guardiola ball forever.
Yeah, he's fucking killed it.
We need Big Sam back.
100% Kevin
I'll
Davis on
get
the
Mike Bassett.
He'd have won it. 4-4, fucking 2.
2.
I watched that the other day.
What a
Yeah,
film.
that's a good story, that Seds. Enjoyed it.
That's what I mean. It's
Roller
like, it's
coaster.
real roller coaster, yeah.
When you're talking here, there's no timeline to it, apart from when Lindy's saying you're crying at Chester, and then I know that bit, but there's just but when you go all the way through it, it was pretty.
That's kind of why I wanted to start from the beginning, just not go on about purely just football, but just life itself. It's just a bit of a life journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
And but that is football. That's life, innit? It's so many ups and downs. You've just got to
And you
ride
got
with it.
3 children now, all yours.
Well,
Congratulations.
I think they all are. Right.
That Lecky meter one was a belter as well, wasn't it?
I just pictured him like, I don't know why it's funny, but the world's like worst feeling ever, and then light goes out, makes it even worse. It's like that's English humour, isn't it?
Yeah. It was tough. I just remember, you know, the. Oh, fuck's sake.
We need to end this podcast like that. Just fucking switch lights on.
Good one.
Cheers, lads.
Always,
Yeah,
cheers,
thank
pal.
you very much,
That's what
Seddon.
said.
No worries, mate. Enjoyed
Cheers,
it.
guys.
Cheers, pal.
How was
thought
it
it was
on this
good.
side?
Bust, I need a cigarette.
I thought you was good.
I know, I need a wee for about half an hour as well.
Is it a
but
bit harder
it's-
than being
It's
over
a
there?
little bit. Well, you just got to listen, haven't you?
Oh, yeah,
And
it's
I
easy.
always try to stop myself from jumping in and going, say something fly, but you
Yeah.
can't do that all the time because someone's trying to tell the emotional story.
Just sat there laughing at me nearly dying.
It's good. Good crack.
Yeah, class. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, pal.